Welcome everyone to Pontos Fathom Hobbies. This is our Cthulhu Death May Die prep for our Season 12 gameplay of the Endgame scenario. The Endgame comes in the expansion Season 2 box set. It's Episode 6. So we're going to paint up the Dimensional Shambler this time. The two monsters for this one are the Dimensional Shambler, you can see there, just Zenithal primed, and the Chochos in the back. So here's our Dimensional Shambler. I Zenithal primed him way back when I first opened the set, and these guys have already been in play, these Chochos. And I'm going to use the art direction from the player card, just like I did for the Chochos. So we got the Chochos painted up, and then we're going to jump into doing the same kind of green. There's some light purples in there, some pinks, some strange tubes he's got for this Dimensional Shambler. So yeah, check out the details on this guy. I Zenithal primed this mini probably when I did the first paint through of Season Two's box set. I went ahead and did a mass Zenithal prime of all the Cthulhu Death May Die paint throughs. So I've got khaki out here. I've got a field green that I'm going to use. I've also got a couple of kind of pinkish paints I'm going to mix in with that to kind of give it a greenish pink color. I'll probably use a wash. I've got a sort of a light tan, but it's more like a grayish white with a greenish color that I use for the white. So those tentacles will probably be the pinkish colors. And then I'll have to find a color for the spikes. I believe it's kind of like a light purple. But you can see the details on this guy are pretty cool. Obviously after the base in that green color, I will probably do a lighter color for some of the highlights. I'll try to thin it out so I can take advantage of the Zenithal priming. And here you can see the episode artwork for Endgame. This is a Hastur themed one. There's actors performing the King in Yellow. So we'll probably use Hastur as our great old one on this one. And in addition to the Dimensional Shambler and the Chochos, I think we'll have cultists and obviously Hastur's cultists. But yeah, I can see this Dimensional Shambler is going to look pretty cool once he gets painted up and get him on the board. I'm also going to use probably the Citadel purple for those spikes. You can see those spikes have got a purple color. So I'll use this Citadel purple for those. And I'll probably end up mixing them in with some of the greens along the way. So even the pinks, and then I'll use these whites. I'll use that white to kind of get the highlights on his muscles and things like that. And then finally I'll do a wash. Probably I'll use a Nuln oil for the wash here. So let's get into it. Starting off with just sort of a base coat. Just really thin it out. Just get some coverage on the mini. I'm going to hit it with some highlights right away. I've added in some lighteners just for the shaping of the muscles around the chest, around the forearms, the back muscles, the neck, top of the head. Then I got to get these tentacles. I've actually just mixed the pink in with the light and green to sort of kind of keep that green across everything. If you look at the box art, everything has got a muted kind of color to it. So you can't really tell there's green in here, but I've mixed this right in the same pot. So I'm using one pot for the whole paint through. So I just started out with the green, mixed in a bit of that deck tan for the white. Then I mixed in some pink here for this fleshy pink for his tentacles. I'm getting these tentacles on his head and then also down in his nether region here. And I'll also get those two kind of tubes that are exposed in his sort of his chest. I'm going to use a thinner brush on this one. So I can finally get into those chest tubules. And then I'll also do some white highlights on these. Yeah, it looks like from the drawing, my painting is not good enough to have it. It looks kind of like, have you ever seen those translucent amoebas, like you'll see them in water, fresh water sometimes, where you can see sort of like their intestine? It looks like from the box art that you can, these are some kind of digestive tubes where you can see stuff moving through them, which is horrifying. But I'm just going to do them in the pink, and then I'm going to highlight them with some whites just to kind of make them look a bit wet and gross and reflective, something like that. And I'll probably hit all of these with a wash afterwards. I've left the ominous washing machine sound. Has an odd Lovecraftian thumping to it. So I didn't. Usually I'll take it out, but I kind of left it in. I don't know why. It just has a kind of like the lurker from the laundry room. I noticed in the box art that they've got the top sort of sleeves on these tubes are actually the greenish color, but I'm kind of going with all pink in this. And I'll make the inner tubes have the white highlights on them. But you can see a quick view of that. It's going to look like. And I think I'll use this same pot and I'll mix in that Citadel purple. And just mix this right in on top and start hitting all those crystalline spikes around his back and arms. Just kind of hit all of those. I got some pink on some of the ones by those back tentacles. I just kind of wrap those up and hit some highlights with these. Got the highlights hit. You guys can check out. So there's these crystalline crystalline back protuberances. The tubing is kind of coming together. Notice how by mixing it in the same pot, we keep that green color and we make all of the pinks and purples a little bit more earth tone-ish, right? We got them more like pastel, very muted, kind of nothing too. It makes the subtle color. I mean, I'm just going by the box art. I'm really mixing the box art there, but I like it. You see how it's very subtle on that art. So mine's much less subtle, but I thought using that green helps. So you can see those highlights coming through. I've got the washes in here already around the face. So we've got some details coming through. I like it. So I'm going to get the base painted up. I'm going to take, again, take this dark iron, and I'm going to mix it in with the purple. So we're going to use one pot for this whole, no wet palette, just a single water bottle cap. Mix this in, and I will base him with this kind of purplish dark iron color. It'll have it's kind of got a nice look to it. Although I do like the overspray from the Zenithal Prime, but whatever. It's better to clean it up a bit. Go around the edge, get the edge done, get between those fingers and the toes. And we'll let this dry. And then I'm going to give it a clear coat, a spray clear coat, just to seal it all in. And then we're ready for gameplay. See, I kind of like breaking the painting out like this, where you take them, what you're going to play on the board, and you kind of get them painted in. It's like spread the painting out so you don't paint it all in one shot. So yeah, I'm kind of having fun doing it this way. I don't know, guys, how do you paint them? Do you paint them all in a batch, or do you go one by one? Okay, so here's our close-up view of him before we get him clear-coated. Just about dried here. I think it's a half call. They hung up. I think I have a package arriving. Okay, so yeah, so that's going to do it. Let's take a look at him here before we clear coat him. As you guys know, with Cthulhu Death May Die, I always say that I like to glossy clear coat them, but I only have a flat clear coat can here. I did notice my Chochos are also flat coated, so of all the Cthulhu Death May Die guys, it's like these are the only ones. There's a very few that are flat clear coated, but I could always go back when I get a new can of glossy and hit these with gloss in the next round. But yeah, what do you guys think? Clear coat glossy for Cthulhu Death May Die? I think this guy's perfect for glossy because he's so tentacly looking, right? So, but yeah, wanted to get this on the board so we can play season 12, wrap up the end game, and then we're waiting for the Kickstarter season 3 of Cthulhu Death May Die to come. That's probably coming the end of 2023, so we can look forward to more Cthulhu Death May Die when that comes out. In the meantime, guys, like and subscribe, ring the bell, and you get notified when we're going to play our Endgame Season 12 playthrough. And as usual, thanks for support. Leave your comments down below, and look forward to seeing you guys in the gameplay. Take care. Bye-bye.